Top 5 most complimented niche perfumes for women. So these perfumes are all going to get you tons of compliments as far as my experience dictates. I know personally I am in love with all of these fragrances. I have scoured the internet and I have also carefully looked at the comments that were left on my videos in the past, and people have spoken high praise about all 5 of these perfumes, a couple of which I've actually been talking about for well over a year now, but others people have discovered, they have worn them, they have purchased them, not in that order, and they have reverted back to me and told me that these do phenomenally well for them. So I am incredibly excited to talk to you about these 5 niche perfumes for women that will bring in huge compliments. But before I start the video, I do want to mention that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, and of course, if you love smelling your best, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and please give this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. It would really, really mean a lot to me. So again, if you want to sample any of these fragrances, do yourself a favor. The wise thing to do would be to get a sample or a decant from ScentSplit.com. You can also get a sample from Perfumology or any other retailer that is carrying some of these perfumes. These are all quite popular, actually, so you can find these in some department stores. It depends on where you live and what's available in your area, but my suggestion would be get a sample or a 5 ml decant from ScentSplit.com. I'm going to drop all of the information down below in the description box. This way you can try it for yourself first. You can put it on your skin, see how it works with your pH levels, how it radiates off your skin, how it resonates with your personal taste. You may love it, you may not like it, so scent is very subjective. I want to make sure at the end of the day that you actually really love and feel very comfortable and confident with the perfumes that you're putting on your skin. And these are just 5 that I have fallen in love with. I can't get enough of these 5 fragrances. They will always be in my collection. The first one I want to talk about is by the brand 2, and it's called Guilty Crush. Now, this is one of the most interesting compositions. There's a lipstick accord and a champagne accord. There's a hint of something sweet in the dry down, but there's a lot of iris, some aldehydes, a bunch of bright citrus in the opening. So it opens up very effervescent. It is so confident, but it's also so magnetic, so sensual, and so provocative as well. I truly love this one. Look, I also really like White Pearl. I love Cypress Shade from this brand. I love Dates Delight. I think it's called Tea Time. There are so many incredible fragrances from this brand that I truly, truly love. And I think they have something to offer for every olfactive profile, right? So if you want a tea scent, if you want a gourmand, if you want a floral, so on and so forth. But this is one where I think it's so feminine, it's so classy, it's so elegant. There's so much to offer in this one bottle here. Not to mention that the presentation is freaking gorgeous. I can't get enough of this fragrance. Huge compliment getter. Like, don't miss your opportunity to add this one to your collection. It is stunning. The next fragrance is Sea Salt and Peony, but there's also something like creamy about it. And I know I've mentioned this before, and I'm looking at the note breakdown, and it's not necessarily in alignment with what I smell, because I get something very creamy, something that I would compare to the smell of coconut or fig. And fig, by the way, is a fantasy note, and it's comprised with a lot of ingredients that also go into a coconut accord, right? Like aldehyde C18 and a few others, but nevertheless, this is a very fulfilling, very sensual, peony-based fragrance. So it's floral, it's fresh, and it is actually a flanker of the original from this brand, which went super, super viral several years back. The original is Pacific Rock Moss, and that one is also a huge compliment getter. But the new kid on the block is Pacific Rock Flower. If you're a fan of peony, if you love your floral perfumes, inevitably and unquestionably, this is one that you are going to fall in love with. I love this one. I can't get enough of this one. And I know I've mentioned this on my channel before. I feel like this is a cousin to Mystic Bliss from the same brand. So if you like that one, but maybe that one is a bit too creamy, a bit too fig forward, a bit too coconutty, you want something that is dialed back in the creaminess department, something where the florals have become a bit more amplified, Pacific Rock Flower is incredible. This next fragrance is Rose and a Champagne Accord. This is a feminine yet celebratory scent It is sparkling. It is so bright. It is so luminous. And this one is going to get you noticed, like, believe me. And this is also one of the most beautiful bottles that you can have in your collection. Everything that this brand puts out is just absolutely gorgeous. And I have acquired so many throughout the years. I remember picking up fragrances from this brand like in 2018, 2019 with my late friend Carlos. I even met up with the owners of this brand in New York City, and we sat down and we had a very, very intimate chat with them. And I just love this brand so much. The brand is Atelier d'Azur, and this one is called Pink Me Up. I know you can't tell, maybe you can, but there are gold flakes in the bottle. And I think this is the case with all of their presentations, at least the ones that are found in the transparent bottles. The more opaque ones like Kawakarda, I'm not entirely sure. But Pink Me Up is a gorgeous rose and champagne fragrance, so feminine, so elegant, so beautiful, so hypnotizing as well. Also can be compared to Dame Rosa. Oh, I don't have it here because I was recently talking about it in another video. But Dame Rosa by Liquide Imaginaire also has rose and champagne in it. So the two are actually aesthetically similar, but they do smell quite different from one another when you juxtapose them. Now, the next perfume that I want to talk about, speaking of Liquide Imaginaire, we're talking about compliments, right? You wear this one, people are going to stop you, right? You walk into an elevator, you're walking down the street, you grab a seat next to somebody at a restaurant, whatever the case may be, people are going to smell this on you, and light bulbs of surprise are going to go on in their head. I think the first thing that they're going to think about is, I've never smelled anything like that before. Like, what on earth is this person wearing, right? And I think people's curiosity is going to be so piqued, so intrigued, that they're going to want to whet their appetite. And so this is the type of DNA that I personally have fallen in love with. I mean, this stuff is absolutely divine, absolutely gorgeous. This is a milky tuberose scent. And so many other people, by the way, it matches what I'm wearing. I love this one. This one is called Blanche Bête by Liquide Imaginaire. This is the brand's bestseller. Now, if you want compliments from this brand, you're going to try this one. You're also going to try Dame Rosa. Those two, forget about it, are going to get you all of the compliments. I think this one is a bit more agreeable in the sense that it is a bit sweet, right? So you're going to get that vanilla in the dry down. There's a bit of a cocoa vibe to it as well. So it is sweet in a multifaceted way. And I think on account of the sweetness, you're going to get a lot of looks of surprise and validation and appreciation and love. I think this one is just an amazing, amazing and super incredible fragrance by Liquide Imaginaire. Blanche Bête has been so viral and so iconic now for such a long time. I mean, you don't even have to listen to what I have to say in this video. Go out there, watch any number of other reviews. Everybody is praising this one. But let's go ahead and talk about the fragrance in the number one spot. So I know I mentioned Dame Rosa, which is a very rose-forward fragrance. And of course, you know, with Pacific Rock Flower, you have the peony. So there's a lot of floral fragrances here. This one has rose. This one has iris. This next one actually has quite a bit of rose. It's a very sensual, very provocative, very feminine fragrance. And I feel like this takes the best of all worlds, puts them together. This is an absolutely entrancing and mesmerizing scent. When I tell you I can't get enough of this fragrance, I truly can't get enough of it. This is one of the most beautiful compositions I have smelled in the past 10 years. This has so much to offer. This is a huge, huge, huge compliment getter. I am telling you right now, if you are preoccupied with compliments, if that's all you're looking for, honest to goodness, if that's all you're looking for, from this brand, you can try Gris Charnel or Gris Charnel Extrait. Those are going to be humongous compliment getters. And I would reckon that those are probably going to be in second place to this one. Of course, there's also Tuberose Imperial. I think that does very well in the compliment department. I also really like Rouge Smoking. I think that fragrance, it's really going to depend on your personal taste. I don't think it's for everybody. And then from the same brand, there's also Pas Ce Soir. that one as well, I don't think is going to be for everybody. There's a lot of quince, there's a lot of, or quince rather, there's a lot of pear, there's a lot of patchouli. So, the patchouli, I think is going to be a love it or hate it thing, but I love it. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to be for everybody. Unequivocally and incontrovertibly, without compare, if you're looking for compliments, there's only one fragrance from this brand that you must add to your collection right this instant. And again, if you want to sample first, by all means, please do so. Scentsplit.com, great place to pick up samples. The compliments that you're going to get from this fragrance are going to be through the roof. I'll share an interesting anecdote here. There's another content creator, her name is Erin, and I love her so much. She's such a sweetheart. And I was actually flying to Dubai, and I was at Newark Airport here in New Jersey. And she was also flying to Dubai, but for a different brand and a completely different purpose. And she approached me while I was sitting there having avocado toast. And she goes, "Are you Steven?" And I'm like, oh my God. And here I am thinking like, okay, so clearly we're flying to Dubai for the same reason. We weren't. And, we got to chatting for a little bit. And every 5 seconds, I just kept getting a whiff of whatever she was wearing. And I didn't want to be weird initially and be like, "I'm sorry, Erin, but what perfume are you wearing?" But eventually I just couldn't help it anymore. So I said, "Can I just ask you, what the heck are you wearing? Because it smells incredible." And she goes, "Oh, I'm wearing Empatia by BDK Parfum." And I said, yeah, okay, totally makes sense. But it's so weird and it's so interesting in the sense that it will work with your pH levels in such a different way, because I went to the launch event for Empatia, okay? And I smelled it on 6 different people there, right? Because, people show up wearing all different perfumes. Some were wearing other BDK fragrances, as was I. But smelling it on her in an environment that did not have all of these different smells in the air, I was finally able to appreciate it on its own. And when I tell you, this smelled so incredible in the air. Anyway, Empatia by BDK Parfum. If you want compliments, this is going to seal the proverbial deal. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you took something of value from today's episode. And of course, if you did, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting the channel by clicking subscribe, hitting the bell, and giving this video a thumbs up. Compliments is the name of the game, and these are the only 5 you need in the niche realm for the moment, especially if you like your flowers, your iris, your rose, your peony, your tuberose. All of these are phenomenal. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. And we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode.